All right. Well, he has splashed onto the scene in a way in which he has fast tracked himself all the way to a title on April 11th. It is none other than Nico Braswell. Nico, appreciate the time, man. How you been?
Good, good. So, I'm not excited. I'm not loving the snow right now, but but no, doing good. Yeah.
I wanted to get your thoughts and your reaction to this title fight opportunity. How did that all kind of come to be, and were you expecting it to come this quickly?
No, not at all. I mean, Amy texted me and said, "Hey, do you want to fight at 145?" And I was like, I don't know. Like, I just worked so hard to cut down to like the bantam. And she's like, "It would be a title fight." I was like, "Whoa, wait a second. Like, what do you mean I'm getting a title fight?" And she's like, "Yeah, like, 145, you got to start the title." I said, "Well, sign me up." So it was no question at that point. So I feel super blessed. I feel like I've worked really hard. I don't feel like I've also, not to discredit my other opponents, but I just don't feel like I've been able to like really show what I've been working on for so long. And so I think this was just like a good opportunity to see like where I actually am. And it is a little scary, just like anything as competition moves up. So it's like let's see where I actually am and what I can actually do. So
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to ask you about was the two fights you've had so far, they have kind of been lopsided in your favor. What have you made of the MMA journey so far in terms of just competition and what you expected it to be maybe back in February of last year?
to be honest, I mean, um, I'll say it's a little like wrestling in college is like three times harder, conditioning, training wise. And so I just know how to like, I feel like no one knows how to, um, I guess, get prepped or, sorry, my mom was calling me. But No, just preparing like every match, like it's like it is a title. And I've just like brought that to the gym, and it's been fun. I mean, it's completely different than what I've been used to for years, wrestling for 16 plus years. And No, it's been awesome. I get my butt. It helps that the room that I train in is everyone is phenomenal. And I get my butt kicked every day. So that definitely helps keep me humble throughout the process too. So
Who are some of those main training partners for you over at Agima?
I mean, David Kim. I mean, we had our last fight camp together, and I mean, we all know David Kim. I mean, he's phenomenal, and he's been a great training partner. I mean, we got Logan Taylor, Zach. I mean, the list goes on. Aiden, now the new, the new champ. So there's just a ton of guys in the room that are just willing to push the pace. I mean, we got Chris coming up on this card as well. A lot of pro fighters in the gym. So yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you a partner that hasn't been great for me. So
You talked a little bit about your collegiate wrestling career. I'm curious, when did you get involved and kind of step onto the mats for the very first time?
I was actually watching WWE. I think I was in fifth grade, and I was watching WWE, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. My dad's like, that's that's not real. Like, if you really want to wrestle, we'll get you signed up. And so we found a kids club nearby, and I remember my first practice coach was like, yeah, like you got your natural talent, whatever it is. And my dad wrestled a little bit like in JUCO, nothing crazy. And I just like started that wrestling journey like full swing come sixth grade, and wrestled all the way through high school, and again a couple of years in college. So I've loved wrestling. It's been, I mean, they always say once you do wrestling, everything else in life is easy. So I truly believe that. Like, there's not anything that I can't do after wrestling. So
Where was home for you? Because I know that you wrestled in Colorado. You made your way to Agima. Where was home prior to all that?
yeah, so I'm from Arizona, born and raised. After I graduated, I went on a mission to Washington State, served there for 2 years for the church, and then after my mission is when I got uh, an offer to wrestle in Colorado, at a D2 school, Western Colorado. it was great. I mean, I wrestled, I say a season and a half just because like COVID year, I think I had 3 matches with, being in and out of quarantine. And then I made the jump to Utah shortly after that. And it was actually one of my good friends' uncle that used to coach kickboxing. And I was just like talking to him, like, yeah, I'm trying to get into something. He's like, dude, you got to go to Court's gym. Like, it's not that far from me. At the time, I was living in Provo. I was like, okay, like I'll I'll check it out. And I loved it. Day one, the coach. I mean, the coaches. I mean, Court, Dane are just amazing, and they brought me in, and it was great. Just started that training process from there. So.
What were some of the growing pains you had transitioning from the world of wrestling into a more jujitsu centric as well as MMA gym?
I think I came in pretty cocky, to be honest. Like I feel like I was in better shape. I feel like like all these things, and it took me a while to like relax a little bit. And I think I remember like my first sparring day. I remember just getting kicked so hard or teeped so hard in the chest that I was like, oh crap, like this is different. And then I remember like shortly after that, I just like felt defeated. Like I haven't felt defeated like that in a while. And same with jujitsu. Like I feel like these like little scrawny guys were like choking me. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, and so it definitely was like a humbling process. I think every wrestler goes through it. Like anyone that's a phenomenal wrestler that comes in and just like thinks they just like blast double everybody, but after a while you blast double enough people, they find your neck pretty quickly. So but it was good. Like I kept coming and learning. Everyone's pretty patient. So I think I maybe pissed off a few people, but that's that's pretty typical as like a brand new wrestler white belt, right? So but it's been fun. I mean, I love it now. So
Have you been able to watch your last fight from a couple of months ago?
yeah, for sure. I mean, I've watched it. But yeah.
What do you think of it? What do you think of your performance as well as Zarek and all of that?
I definitely was like super impressed by Zedek. I mean, next to no bio on this guy, and just wasn't sure what was gonna happen, and so I think everyone was pretty shocked when he came out and like threw that leg kick, and it really like shocked me. I was like, all right, like I may have gotten a little mad. I was like, dude, come on, dude. Like, don't be like that. But anyways, I mean, obviously took him down, and I definitely wanted to finish this time. Like, I feel like my first fight, I was so worried about like gassing out that I didn't. I guess when I was in the ground and pound, I wasn't like throwing everything I had, just because I know people always say like, you don't gas yourself out. Don't. And when you're in a submission, like don't hold it too long. And so those are all things I was thinking about. Like my first fight is like, yeah, take control and but don't gas yourself out. So this one I was like, no, I gotta get a finish. So I kind of like, you know, threw it all out there once I got on top. So
What was your reaction when you had to deal with the opponent change so close to fight night?
I was a little bit I'll be honest, I was a little bugged just because like I felt like again like this is I don't even remember his name, but it was gonna like just put me a little bit more on the map a little bit, just because he had more fights, and I was a little upset that like I don't know what happened, but the quick change, and I just like I'd been training so hard at that point, like I'd been working a ton on my striking, working a ton on just a bunch of things, and for him to pull out, I was like, well, and then getting a debuter, you never know with the debuter, right? But I just wanted to show what I've been working on, and so made the best of it, but definitely want to show everyone what I've been working so hard on.
Speaking of working hard, I know you've been working a lot with Joel Haro, obviously one of the top strikers in the entire state. What's it been like learning from him and also just kind of building a relationship with him?
Joel's the best, man. I mean, he is the one of the most humble guys to like work with, even though he can. Yeah, he's super super humble, and yeah, he's been great. I mean, my last camp, I went in for a couple practices, and he's just so willing to like let me come in and train with his guys, and obviously comes, to sparring every once in a while. And I think a lot of like what David Kim has learned is from Joel because they've, worked so closely together. And I think just like working with Joel, David has like helped me a ton. Because I feel like, especially like kind of my stature, I think me and Joel have like a very similar stature, kind of stocky little guys. So but yeah, Joel's amazing. So
Is the goal to stay at 45 or to go down to 35 again? What's the plan now?
I don't know. I think I'm definitely a lot bigger. I'll say that. I mean, I was at like 148 when Amy texted me, so I've been lifting a ton, been eating a ton. So I don't know. I think range and distance and you know wingspan has a lot to do with how I fight, and obviously like being a little guy, it's not easy to get inside the pocket. But then again, you got your takedowns, and so I think we'll see. I think I personally like fighting more at like a bantamweight, being that I feel like I'm roughly same size, and if I am, I'm definitely for sure the stronger fighter. Whereas being at 45, I feel like maybe I don't have as much of an edge on strength and stuff. But um, I'll fight where at this point it's like just get experience. I'm not like this or that, so maybe once I go pro, like figure out exactly where I want to be. But I think I need to be bouncing between the both.
For you, how much weight do you think you are going to have to put on? And then obviously cut as well coming into April 11th.
So I mean, I've been lifting heavy. I've gained about like 8 pounds. So I'm feeling good where I'm at. I think this cut's gonna be like cakewalk. So yeah, I mean, I feel great. I've been like working out a ton, been eating a ton of, protein, and I look good. Like I haven't looked like this beefy in a while. So I'm feeling good. So I'm feeling explosive and all that. So
One thing that is so different about you than so many fighters, and not to say that other fighters don't have fans, but I feel like your fans come out in droves. I remember your debut was very specifically heightened when you made the walk alongside this second fight you had just a couple of months ago. Where are all these people coming from? I'm completely curious.
no idea, man. No, it's been. I mean, I've just obviously lived like in Provo area, Orem area. I mean, just from work, friends. I just have a lot of people that are supportive, I guess. And yeah, it's like I'm great. I mean, I have people text me that I haven't talked to in years, like, hey, I'm like, someone of my buddies just text me, hey, I'm gonna beat your fight. I'm like, I haven't seen you in probably 7 years. So I think a lot of people are uh, pretty supportive, and like I'm super grateful. Good sponsors. That's another thing. Like I have a lot of buddies that own companies, and like fighting is cool. So everyone wants to put their logo, wants to do something. So for my first fight, I had they did a huge. I did I was doing door-to-door sales at the time with Hawks, and they did a full promo video. So basically, a good chunk of the company came for that. And then this last fight, the company I currently work at, Mint Window Washing, they did a little like just like something little. And so yeah, it's been cool. I mean, like I said, I've got a lot of friends that are supportive, and they make these cool videos. And but I'm getting a ton of calls right now.
Last question from me. I don't want to
Yeah,
take up any more of your
no, you're
time.
totally good.
Really quickly, just what do you make of Derek Jorgensen and what are you looking forward to on April 11th?
I'm pumped. I'm excited I mean, this is the first wrestler I've fought in, so we'll see what happens. Who is the greatest wrestler will be the question. So he's won all of his fights majority wrestling, and I've obviously won my last two fights majority wrestling. So no, I'm excited. I'm excited to go all 5 rounds if we need to. I'm hoping that I'm a little more conditioned, and uh, I'm yeah, I'm just pumped. So not I guess not working on anything particular, just doing my normal stuff, that I'm good at. So just crisping everything up. So
Couple of high level fighters fighting for the featherweight strap on April 11th. Tickets on sale now at fiercefightingchampionship.com.